5 ways to become an emotionally powerful person. Wouldn't it be nice if you could find a little more balance in your emotions so you could avoid swinging harshly between high and low feelings? Learn to become an emotionally powerful person and see things as they really are. Appreciate people as well as the moments spent with them. And finally, tame that harsh inner critic that keeps spewing a never-ending stream of negative self-talk. Welcome back, folks, to another edition of Sweetie Kiwi. I hope you are doing marvelous as I am. And if you really are, go grab a cup of coffee or tea or a vodka and let's roll. Today we want to talk about 5 ways to become an emotionally powerful person. I want to give a shout out to all our millions of viewers and listeners and fans, specifically the loyal ones. Really appreciate your help. And thank you so much. And today, the first way to become an emotionally powerful person, learn to be thankful. Now, I know this might sound a little naive or unscientific, but giving thanks on a daily basis, it's wonderful. It's so positive. Of course, you can't track it, but you can. There have been numerous studies around thankfulness and a mindset of positivity and a peaceful mindset. So give thanks for what you have achieved, what you are, what you have, what's around you. Those are extremely healthy exercises. You can even keep a gratitude diary, right? So this is basically a journal where you write down all the positive things about you, your life, the blessings that have the power to motivate you and make you stronger emotionally. The interesting here is that you have to do this every day, right? Because it's like either you use it or you lose it, right? So your gratitude muscle, in order to be an emotionally powerful person, in order to balance your emotions, you got to have strong gratitude muscles. So every day, say aloud 3 good things that happened to you. Keep a gratitude journal. I've already said that. You want to say thanks to your partner. You want to say thanks to your children. Say thanks to your parents. Say thanks to your friends. Say thank you to your colleagues. Say thank you to your boss. Of course, it has to be honest. It has to be genuine, right? You don't want to just say thanks for, because you just want to say thank you. It has to be backed up by something, right? Now, the thing here is that you also want to thank yourself. This is very important. A lot of folks don't have this sort of self-love, but you need to have that. You need to build that, right? Another thing here is that you want to always remember the good moments of life. When you were a child, a week ago, a year ago, a decade ago, try to reconnect with yourself, the positive self. Remember good moments. You can even use technology to send gratitude messages nowadays, right? You have apps, you have software that you can actually schedule emails or messages that could go directly to folks either on WhatsApp or on social media. So that element of gratitude really will help you be emotionally powerful. Now, of course, gratitude has many, many benefits. Again, people might say this is naive, but it works. It builds up your karma account. It helps you move forward. Gratitude improves self-esteem, right? You can sleep better. You don't have a lot of issues. You can sleep better. You can accept things as they come to you. It opens doors to more relationship. I'm talking fruitful relationships here. It allows you to be physically better, to feel physically better. It allows you to reduce the impact of stress on your life. And I'm talking about your physiological health. Gratitude does something very wonderful also, that it lowers aggression. It lowers negative emotions and it bolsters empathy and sympathy. All right. So number 1, to become an emotionally powerful person, learn to be thankful. I'll be right back for number 2. Number 2, talk to yourself all the time. Right? You heard it right. You want to talk to yourself. When it comes to being emotionally powerful, talking to yourself is a good thing. Why? Because talking to yourself allows you to have a conversation with your inner critic. It allows you to have a conversation with negative thinking. Those people in your body, in your mind, in your soul who are constantly fighting against you. Talk to them. Observe things as they are. Now, talking to yourself, whether it is a voice in your head or a loud conversation, or putting words to paper and writing. Yeah, because a lot of people think when I'm talking about talking to yourself, I'm not just talking about loud. It could be just having a journal or writing things or sending an email to yourself or having a loud conversation. Whatever it is, having that conversation with yourself creates an environment, a mental environment where three things can happen, three important things. Number one, openness. By being open, you are aware of and free from inherited beliefs. All the cliches about the world, about yourself, you're able to ditch them by being open-minded. That's called being open-minded, right? Your parents might say, well, this is how we do things in the family. Okay. And you can say, you know what? I want to be open. I'm not going to carry on beliefs and prejudices that have been going on for the last 100 years. No, that's openness. Number two, observation. Now, observation means that you're able to see yourself and see things the way they are, as they are. And you're seeing them with distance and perspective, right? A lot of folks who do meditation are aware of that. So you're able just to observe, not take part in a particular situation. No, just be part of it. Just look at things. Like, think about it, like when you watch a show, for instance, it feels like you are in the show, but at the same time you are keeping a distance from the show, right? Because those are actors and actresses, and you know that even though you want them to win or you want them to lose, whatever, this is fiction. Apply the same technique to things that happen in your life. They might not be fiction, but trying to keep a distance. All right. The third thing that you are able to do when talking to yourself is to be objective. Objectivity means that you understand that this life is complex, and every matter, every situation is complex, and things are multidimensional, right? So when you look at a problem or a challenge, you look at it from several points of view, not just one, right? So you're able to manage your emotions, your desires, your thoughts in a more powerful way. Okay, so that's being objective, not being biased. All right, I'll be right back right after this. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back, folks, to another edition of Sweetie Kiwi. If you just joined us, consider subscribing to our channel. We drop this kind of shows and other topics on a daily basis. We drop 2 or 3 shows a day, and we really appreciate if you turn on the notification bell so you are aware when we drop a new show. We love communicating and engaging with our community. The Sweetie Kiwi Show is the world's largest infotainment show. Thank you for listening to us. Please comment below. Tell us how you have tried in your own life to become an emotionally powerful person. Share this content and like it if you believe we're doing a good job. All right. Number 3, acknowledge that obstacles are challenges, not walls or barriers, right? This is very important, right? Life will always have problems. Life will always erect challenges and hurdles in front of you. But how you respond to those challenges is what really matters. All right. So you want to develop the right psychological resources to be able to see things as they really are. Right? So you're not looking at things as failures or dead ends, but things as opportunities for detours, right? Look at obstacles as merely a detour to your final goal. Because your goal is achievable. If there is a problem, there is a solution. If there's a question, there is an answer. All right? The thing here is that the way you can turn obstacles into opportunities is by having a plan. And again, if you remember in the earlier section, I talked about being open, and I talked about openness, observation, and being objective. If you're objective enough, if you can apply those 3 O's, you can very easily craft a plan, and the plan can help you focus on what you need to do, right? Because you cannot change events, you cannot control events. What you can do, though, is controlling your attitude, is controlling your your response vis-a-vis that challenge. All right. So how do you do this? You have a plan. And remember that change is a permanent thing. Change is a constant thing. It happens all the time. Change is a permanent element in life. Change happens all the time. So if need be, modify your perspective. Modify how you look at things. Control your irrational emotions and see things as they really are. Another thing is that you want to always keep moving. You want to be in a dynamic mode, right? And the best way to do this is by having a plan, right? So let's say you're just driving on the highway and you know there's a problem with your GPS and you're lost, right? If you just stay where you are, this is just bad. You can't reach your goal. But if you keep moving, trying to find solutions, trying to find a cop or trying to find someone to show you the way, you are more likely to succeed, right? So keep moving always. All right. You want to be able to have a positive mindset and move it. This will strengthen your emotional balance down the road. Another way to also overcome hurdles and challenges and see things differently is to focus on something bigger than yourself. Why? Usually human beings are concerned about their ego. They always think the world is without them, the world is going to come to a stop, or this whole situation is happening to them and they can't make it happen. But if you can switch your thinking and start thinking about something bigger, let's say you just failed an exam, right? Let's say you failed an important exam and you are very, 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 very sad. You have two options, right? Option one, you stay in your room. You don't see anybody for several days. You don't eat. You lose weight. You drink or whatever, or you eat whatever. In that case, you gain weight, right? You just feel miserable. You just feel guilty. You feel whatever. That's option one. Option two will be, okay, this exam, I failed it once, but the next one, I'm going to get it. Why? Because there are 35 people in my family who are expecting me to pass it. My grandmother wants me to pass it. She has taken that exam herself when she was younger. She didn't pass it, and I'm going to pass it just to honor her. Or my granddad really wanted me to pass it before he died. For instance, I'm just throwing out very hypothetical examples here, but the idea here is to take the situation away from you, from your humble life, and broaden it. By broadening it, you're able to find energy deep inside you. How do you think those Olympic athletes are able to blossom on D-Day? Because they have of course they have other stuff going on, but imagine the vibes of 100,000 people, or having a whole country behind you, supporting you emotionally, spiritually, mentally. That boosts your ego, right? So focus on something bigger than yourself and you will succeed, and you will become an emotionally powerful person. I'll be right back right after this. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back, folks, to another edition of Sweetie Kiwi. We're still having a very interesting conversation around how to become an emotionally powerful person. And, for those who just joined us and they want to know the context of today's conversation, it's very simple. Wouldn't it be nice if you could find a little more balance in your emotions so you could avoid swinging harshly between high and low feelings? Learn to become an emotional, powerful person and see things as they really are. Appreciate people as well as the moments spent with them. And finally, tame the harsh inner critic that keeps spewing a never-ending stream of negative self-talk. I've already given you 3 ways to become an emotionally strong person. Let's go to number 4. Number 4, be comfortable with change and accept that it's part of life. I spoke earlier about it. I alluded to it when I said that change is permanent. Change is a constant in life, right? So you got to be comfortable with it. You can't change it. You cannot change, right? So the thing here is that you want to understand that If you cannot change it, embrace it and be happy about it and try to do things you can change, right? So for instance, you just gotta stay, you gotta continue moving no matter what. You want to understand how the change affects you. You want to specify things you can change and the things you cannot change, right? This is very important. And learn to become humble, saying things like, I don't know. I don't know. I'm just part of this process. I don't know. Avoid asking people for their help or opinion on certain things. Why? Because they don't know as much as you do. They don't know more than you do. You guys, we're all part of the same boat, the same journey, and there are things that are beyond our understanding, right? You want to find practices. You want to find interests. You want to find a routine that is good for your soul, for your body, and your mind. Do you like dancing? Go dance. Do you like, when faced with uncertainty, you do everything you can, but at the end of the day, you can't control the outcome. Just rely on other stuff. Do stuff that makes you comfortable. Now, to be comfortable with change, you have to accept a few things and change a few others. This is very important because I'm not asking you to stay in a state of lethargy and not do anything, though. No. Being comfortable with change means you are able, in a rational way, in a very objective way, to accept things you cannot change, but change the things you can, right? There are some things like, for instance, the stock market, the weather, you can't change those, right? But there's always something you can do, right? Let's say, for instance, if you don't want to lose money in the stock market, just invest in something else, right? Invest in bonds or buy a real estate, whatever. If it's too cold, just go to a hot country, move to Brazil, or dress accordingly. So again, what I'm trying to say here is that you cannot change things, but you can adapt to your behavior. You can adapt to your response to the things. For instance, accept your imperfections, but in the process, you want to change your idea of beauty, right? Change how you perceive beauty. What does beautiful means to you? Don't listen to what society has told us, what the fashion industry has told us that beauty should be, right? No. Concoct your own definition of beauty. Another thing, accept your situation, but change your outlook, right? Something is happening to you, okay, accept it, but change how you look at it. If you can't change it, change the way you look at it. Accept where you are now, but most importantly, change where you're going, right? You can be in a situation now that you don't like. Okay, that's fine. It has already happened. But where are you going? What are you going to do that you get to the destination you need to be? Let's say you've made bad choices in the past. Choices that came came to bite. Okay, it's fine. It happens. Okay. Everybody makes mistakes. That's pretty cool, right? But change your next choices. What are the choices you're going to make next? That's what I'm interested in. And that's what you should be interested in. Right? Or let's say you just broke up. You had a series of negative and very bitter relationships in the past, a lot of breakups. So you're carrying a lot of, I would say some heavy emotional baggage. That's pretty good. All right. It has already happened. But what are you going to change going forward? Who are you going to surround yourself with? Are you going to surround yourself with positive people? Are you going to draw positive mates in your life, a positive mate in your life? Or are you still going to go back to the old you, make the same mistakes, and suffer again? Right? So the bottom line here is that you have to be comfortable with change and understand that certain things you cannot change, so you accept them, but you have to change the things you can change. All right? I'll be right back right after this. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back, folks, to another edition of Sweetie Kiwi. We're still talking here about, 5 ways to become an emotionally powerful person. I just want to wrap this up. And number 5, improve your empathy. right? Empathy is very important. You want to challenge yourself. You want to get out of your usual environment. You want to be able to, empathy means you are able to put yourself in people's shoes. And by doing this, you will improve your emotional power tremendously. Having a sense of curiosity, honing your sense of curiosity, asking better questions, listening to people, being very concerned about people's welfare, right? Helping people in this industry, engaging in random acts of kindness. Those things go hand in hand. But by being able to understand what other people feel, you will basically and unmistakably improve your level of your level of emotional power, right? The thing here is that you want to get closer to people who are important to you, right? So you want to hear about, you want to hear from your family, your friends and colleagues. You want to check in with them periodically, right? To also see how they're doing. This is very important. And by practicing empathy, you become automatically humble. Why? Because by embracing other people, by becoming interested rather in people's lives and stories and fights and challenges, you're able to see that your life is not as bad as as you thought it was, or you can even see that you are actually blessed. Either way, those two outlooks make you humble. It's very important. All right, folks? I think this is about it. Today we're going to wrap up today's conversation, and let me quickly give you the recap of today's show here. So the 5 ways to become an emotionally powerful person are: learn to be thankful, talk to yourself all the time, acknowledge that obstacles are challenges, not walls or barriers, be comfortable with change and accept that it's part of life, and improve your empathy. Before I go, I just want to give you another tip, an extra tip, a pro tip. To be an emotionally powerful person, you have to pay attention to your entourage. I'm talking people in your private circle, right? You need to accept your family as they are, but change your friends and colleagues for that matter if you are able to move to another job, right? You can't choose your family, that's for sure, but you can choose your friends, who you hang out with. Another thing you want to do here also is that to boost your emotional balance, there are some powerful thoughts that you need to always think of, you always have close to you. Keep your circle small and your mind at peace. All right? This is very important. And when you understand that, you can also understand that we don't lose friends, really. We just learn who our real ones are, right? When you go through life, real friends will always be with you in hard moments. If you're stranded on the highway at 2 a.m., and this is my litmus test, my personal litmus test. If I'm stranded on the highway at 2 a.m. and I give a call to a series of friends, who is going to pick up and who's going to come to rescue me? That's a true friend. You have to understand that if you're not losing friends, you're not growing up. You are static. That's why you have the same friends. But if you move up and those friends are also moving up, chances are you're going to lose some, you're going to gain some. It's just part of life. And the last thing I want to say before wrapping this up, if you want to become an emotionally powerful person, remember that people are not permanent. People are not permanent. All right? Be emotionally powerful, and I will see you next time. Remember, stay marvelous.